My mind can't even grapple the thought of this. 31-year-old Christopher Greger unalived his 6-year-old son, Corey Michello. Corey was a 6-year-old boy that was in the care of his daddy. You know what I'm saying? You would not think that your own daddy would throw his insecurities off on you and punish you to the degree where they found contusions on your lungs, your heart. The mom found scrapes and bumps on his forehead and bruises on him from doing workouts at the Atlantic Heights workout facility, like a gym. 2 weeks after it's gruesome to me because it was happening right before your eyes. You know what I'm saying? But it was a rigorous workout. You know what I'm saying? That was made for somebody who's going to the Army, the Navy, the Marines, someone who is competing for something. But this child was not competing. Corey Michello wasn't competing for nothing, but trying to be a kid. And his daddy had expectations on him. And now Corey was taken to the pediatrician, and he stated that, you know, my dad had me on the treadmill and had me running and doing exercises because he felt as if I was too fat. 6 years old? 6 years old, you're too fat? I think that something happened to his daddy, Christopher. I think something happened traumatic to his daddy, and his narcissist ways and things like that, he wanted to rub it off on his child. He took everything out on this child, being abused to the point where you want to blame pneumonia for your son's passing. 2 weeks after after this video popped up as him pushing the treadmill, making it go faster, Corey falling off the treadmill, making the incline go higher on the treadmill so it can be more rigorous for Corey and things of that nature. That video was seen, you know what I'm saying? It was video footage of this, and it's going around the world. Now, why would you make a 6-year-old do these type of exercises? What would make you and prompt you to have a 6-year-old in a gym at 6 doing all these workouts and telling them they're too fat? That's sick. That's psycho behavior. He was in the courtroom trying to make up tears. I didn't see one fall out his eyes. I was looking real close to see a tear fall out his eyes. He was in the courtroom trying to make up crocodile tears, and his son is 6 feet in a grave. Didn't have to be there, making up excuses, saying that he had pneumonia. But 2 weeks after that video, they found, you know, the contusions on his heart, his lungs, liver, kidneys, and all the internal organs. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't see the abuse. It was just, they said it was a repeat abuse. You couldn't see the abuse too much on the outside, but it was on the inside. If I can't abuse you and get away with it from the outside, if I can't give you a black eye, busted lip, if I can't give you broken ribs and cracked ribs and stuff like that, I'm going to internally abuse you. That's sad you did your son like that. You did your son like that. And I don't know where the mother was. I don't know if she knew, but she had saw the bruises and took him to the pediatrician and things of that nature. And they didn't see anything right off the bat. They didn't see the injuries right off the bat. Of course they didn't. It was internal. I don't know what test they ran. They didn't see the injuries. Now he's in the courtroom trying to talk about and say it's pneumonia. Just go and admit it. Be a man and just say, look, I fucked up. I unalived my son. I did this. It was my doing. It was my mental state that did that. It was me, my insecurities. It was me trying to, you know, rub my insecurities out for my son, or trying to make my son be a man that I never could be, or things like that. It was the pressure. It was me. It wasn't admitting nothing. Just sit up there with these crocodile tears in a suit and think that somebody going to believe that you actually didn't intend to harm your son, didn't intend to abuse your son. You can't claim that you was trying to make your son better as something. Your son just began life. 6 years old? 6 years old? Really? 2 weeks after this video resurfaced, they found Corey in his room, suffering from nausea, saying that he was dizzy, couldn't get his breath, and the father, Christopher Greger, rushed him to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, just imagine how long that he was in there. I think Christopher Greger did something else to him after the video surfaced of him running him like a horse on a treadmill, like he's training horses on a treadmill. I think something else happened between that And the kid could no longer take the abuse, and he had to take him to the hospital. And soon as the child got to the hospital, he started having seizures, and they could not revive the child. That's how bad the abuse was. How could you do your child like that? How could you do your own flesh and blood like that? Now, the judge, you don't do your big one down there. If you don't just throw the books, handbooks, reading books, thesauruses, Webster's dictionaries, throw every book you can find, crossword puzzles, throw every book that you can find on this individual. This is a sick-minded individual. Rest in peace to Corey, that little 6-year-old boy that didn't deserve that. His father was a piece of crap. His father didn't have no care or concern for him, and you only been on earth for 6 years. Imagine had you been 16. Your dad, you could have told your story and probably escaped with your life. Your daddy, cold-blooded, murdered you. And I'm sad to say it that way, but that's what happened. My heart goes out to this family, the Michello family, the mother that is grieving and things of that nature and don't know where did it go wrong. Sorry for hitting my microphone, but didn't understand where did it go wrong between my husband or my boyfriend or my ex-husband or my ex-boyfriend and my child, our son. She probably seen the signs. He probably whooped her ass too. But anyway, y'all go look at this story. Sending my condolences to the family, friends, and people who knew the 6-year-old child that didn't deserve a piece of shit ass daddy that would run him on the treadmill like he was like a rat. Like they experiment with a rat. With on a hamster wheel or something. I see you looking. Evermore News. This is so sad and unfortunate. Sad.